عالمية في الأوقاف. يرأس هذه الجلسة معالي الأستاذ الدكتور خالد بن صالح السلطان مدير جامعة الملك فهد للبترول والمعادن، ويتحدث فيها إليكم الأستاذ الدكتور إيثيم جونيرين نائب رئيس جامعة فاكيف التركية، والأستاذ خالد صوفي المستشار القانوني والخبير في شؤون الأوقاف عبر الدائرة التلفزيونية من المملكة المتحدة سيكون معنا، وكذلك الأستاذ مايكل سلاتر المدير التنفيذي لشركة نورتن تيرست. تفضل دكتور خالد.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. يسرني في هذا الصباح المبارك أن أرحب بهذا الجمع، وأدعو الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يجعل في هذا الملتقى الخير والبركة، وأن يسدد خطى منظميه ويوفقهم إلى ما يحب ويرضى، وأهنئكم جميعا بهذا الملتقى الناجح الذي الكثير يتشوق إلى عقده سنويا، وأنا مطمئن أنه إن شاء الله تعالى سيخرج، وربما خرج حسب ما علمت بالأمس توصيات تنفذ بطريقة سريعة وعاجلة لخدمة هذا القطاع الذي نعتقد أنه قطاع حيوي وهام، والأمة الإسلامية لها قصب السبق فيه، وكلنا نعرف أن بالذات خدمتي التعليم والصحة قامت على الأوقاف لقرون كبيرة عديدة، ثم قام الغرب باستقراء هذه التجربة وطور آلياتها بشكل حقيقة جيد جدا. وربما أننا الآن نرجع ونتعلم ليس المبدأ وليس النوايا وليس محبة هذا العمل أو تعبد الله فيه، بقدر ما هو تعلم بعض الآليات التي طورت في دول العالم قاطبة، وخاصة في المجتمع الغربي وبعض الدول طبعا الإسلامية الأخرى. لا أريد أن أطيل عليكم. هناك 3 متحدثين في هذه الجلسة. المتحدث الأول هو الأستاذ الدكتور أدهم جونيرين، والدكتور أدهم هو نائب رئيس الجامعة في جامعة وقف بزمي عالم من أبريل 2013 ولا يزال. والدكتور أدهم هو طبيب ممارس جراح تجميل، وتخرج من كلية الطب في جامعة اسطنبول في عام 87 ميلادية، ولديه قصة جامعة تدرس العلوم الصحية قائمة على وقف من ما يقرب من قرنين، وانتهى هذا الوقف الذي أريد به أن يكون مستشفى إلى أن يستمر مستشفى وكليات صحية تشمل الطب والصيدلة والعلوم الصحية الأخرى، وتعطي كثير من خدماتها بشكل غير ربحي. لا أريد أن أطول عليكم، أرحب بالدكتور أدهم، وتفضل أدهم.
عفوا دكتور خالد، إذا تسمح لنا ونبه فقط إلى وجود جهاز الترجمة على القناة رقم 1 من أجل الاستماع.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Thank you, dear President, dear guests. I am Ethem Güneren from Bezmi Alem Vakıf University in Istanbul. I would like to thank, at the beginning, thank to the organizing committee for this kind invitation, and I'm honored to be with you here. And if I forget some points in my speech, please ask me, because I decided it's not a one-way presentation. Questions and answers, the two-way program is better to understanding each other. And the second point is, I want to say at the beginning, yesterday and today you discussed so many sophisticated philosophical points on this thema. It's very interesting for me because the first time this is under scientific rules, this thema is discussed in my life. Thank you for this invitation again for this subject. I can do it? Yes, I can do it. No. I came from Bezmi Alem Vakıf University in Istanbul. This is a true Vakıf University, non-profit organization in Turkey. We have two of them. We are the one of the them. And we are the first thematic health science university in Turkey. Here, thematic means all divisions, all programs are focused on health. Bezmi Alem has a 180 years old history, from tradition to future, we say. And we focused on 3 points: education, patient care, and research. The hospital was established in 1843 as an endowment by Bezmi Alem Valide Sultan. She is the wife of Sultan Mahmud II and the mother of Sultan Abdülmecid. Upon a dream, I would like to explain what does it. She had a dream. In her dream, 200 of men servants served her in her dream. Upon the repetition of the dream, Her Excellency wanted an institution providing complete medical care for the poor and Muslims with less means. At the time, in Istanbul, all other religious minorities but Muslims had their own hospitals. The original name of our foundation hospital is Bezmi Alem Valide Sultan Vakıf Kurabai Müslümin Hospital. You can see some pictures from the original time. In the original structure of the endowment, the Sultan transferred many acres of lands and properties from her personal wealth to the endowment. All the expenses for the hospital was reimbursed from the revenues generated from these properties and lands. This continued during the Ottoman era. I would like to share some original sentences. In the foundation original instructions, it was written, if a man helps, works, or acts for foundation or endows for it, God will save him. And if a man acts against for foundation or destroys it, God will punish him. It was written in the instruction. This is my foundation. Love it or leave it, but don't destroy it. And according to me, there is an interesting point in the original instructions. For example, onion. Even though an onion works as gold, it should be bought and served to the patients. It was written in the instructions. Butter. Best butter is in Trabzon, in Turkey. She bought lands in Trabzon and farms and cows to obtain butter, to serve the patients. In 1840s, I talk about. And staffs, most qualified doctors are employed with the much money. And another point, pocket money. What does it mean? Pocket money is given to the discharged patients after the treatment process, and free of discharge, of course. But all the endowments and foundations were nationalized in the new Turkish Republic in 1925. Consequently, central government created a directorate for them. Now, all the affairs and management of the endowments are managed through this central agency. Approximately 3,000 of endowments gathered under governmental umbrella in 1990s. The General Directorate for Endowments and Foundations manage day-to-day operations, as well as the long-term financial planning of all foundations countrywide. Our university was established by this directorate also. The directorate allocates the revenues from Bezmalem Foundation plus two other related foundations to the university to obtain more resources, to obtain sustainability. Also, the property where the university and the hospital reside is provided free of charge. The revenue provided by this directorate is a small sum of university and for the hospital. This is important. The large share of expenses are paid from the revenues generated by the hospital and the university activities. The hospital still provides free health care for the poor and the needy. The directorate plans and executes the programs as they see fit for the whole endowments and foundations. But the university is financially independent in investments and growth. The university is managed through a board of directors. What does it mean? The revenues provided by the directorate is a small sum of university and for the hospital. What does it mean? It means that the annual budget of our complexity, not the foundation, hospital, university, and all other activities, approximately $80 million annually. 75% of it comes from the hospital professional management via patients through invoices of governmental or private health insurances, but not from the patient's pockets. 15% of the budget comes from through government via Director of Endowments, via the original Vakıf properties. And 10% of it comes from student payments. What does it mean 75% of it comes from the hospital professional management? It seems to be an against situation for original foundation instructions, but at that time, Ottoman Empire has no social securities, no social insurances, nobody. But now, in Turkish Republic, 95% of our people have health insurances. In addition to that, we have an office, Vakıf office in the hospital, not only to cover the uninsured 5% people, but also homeless, poor, refugees, mainly Syrian, unfortunately. And our Vakıf office consists of 10% of our budget currently. What does it mean? 15% comes from the endowments, indirectly. This money goes to renovation, repairments, new buildings, etc. Not for consumptions, not for salaries. 10% it comes from the students' payments. What does it mean? I would like to clear. Medical faculty fee annually, dear President, is $1,500. Dentistry, $1,450. Pharmacy, $10,000. Nursery, $8,000. Vocational school is $5,000 annually. But we have 40% of all students have full scholarship. What does it mean, full scholarship, for 40% of whole students? Students have got this scholarship according to the marks of university entrance examination in Turkey. This means most successful, top of all candidates can have it. This is very important according to the competitive selection, according to the quality level, students' academic level, because it elevates the level. For example, full scholarship for medical faculty comes from the first 2,000 out of 2 million candidates. Up to 2010, our foundation and hospital, I prefer to use this term, is a relatively small hospital. But, for example, in 2010, daily 1,500 or 2,000 patients come as an outpatient basis, 80 or 100 operations done by daily, 200 staffs were working. There was no students. But after the re-establishing as a university hospital, today, in 5 years, today we have 6,000 to 8,000 patients daily, nearly 150 operations and 600 staffs. And beside this, 2,500 students we have in 5 years. To build a complete healthcare system in a large metropolitan city with a population over 2 million, this aim, we aim this. Inshallah, the system will include modern infrastructure, best trained personnel, and every services. We have some projects, and it's worth it to share with you here, because these 3 projects are visionary projects and for future. For example, we have a heritage building. It was an Ottoman historical military quarantine barracks. Now, we established it as a Bezmi Alem Biotechnology and Life Sciences Institute. And this institute now we're going to approve a guided project to the Turkish Minister of Science and Technology. The theme of this research center is production of biosimilars, drug research and development. As you know better than me, for example, Brazil makes this 10 years, 20 years ago, this project, and now Brazil independent, according to the drug consumption, Brazil is an independent, and Brazil exchange the drugs in Brazil. This is an example, and we aim this, inshallah. Another project, a new university campus project. It will be a prestigious campus for us, inshallah. And second and third example of our projects, I'm proud to present this project here because they are our brothers. Syrian refugees are our brothers. We have 4 million refugees in Turkey, and 2 million of them live in Istanbul, as you know better than me. And we, Bezmi Alem Foundation, had a project still going since 4 months. It's a new project. European Commission, International Migration Office, Doctors Worldwide, and Bezmi Alem Vakıf University together holding this project. 1 million euros we have got from the European Commission per year. For Syrian refugees, they are treated between 17 hours p.m. to 21 hours p.m. in the evenings, free of charge. Bezmi Alem is a brand for Turkey. Every Turk or somebody in their family is treated at Bezmi Alem. The name has been associated with healing and caring in the Turkish soil. The healthcare center in the center of Istanbul, and strong commitment and support by the central government, not directly but indirectly. They have some risks, everybody has. And I would like to declare our mission here to be a leading university in the fields of medical sciences and education, which is taken as a local and global reference point with its education, research, and services, and members proud to be being a part of it. Our mission is to serve and function as a university which bears the responsibility of producing and emitting knowledge that the people of our country and all the humankind need, which has truly grasped a university spirit and which can meet in education, learning, and development the requirements of its students, who express their thoughts freely, who have the capacity to analyze and to synthesize knowledge, who contribute to the growth and individual sensitive to the perception and solution of the social and technological needs of the future and who respect the social values and diversity. Today, Bezmi Alem Vakıf University is a health sciences university, central part of Istanbul, public-private, and public in the sense that there is a role of central government in the management of the endowment. It is private since management is through the own board of directors. Some scans from the inside of the university campus, and some of my dear colleagues had seen our campus. Now we have a big modern hospital, 8,000 patients daily, 150 operations, 1,500 emergency cases come daily to our hospital. Huge number, 200 rooms, all rooms have double beds, 400 beds, standard, 120 ICU beds, and accreditation process we held. And now we changed our face to the university section. We have graduate levels, PhD and MCS sciences, undergraduate levels, medicine, dentistry, pharmacy and health sciences, and we have associate degrees, vocational schools. We have Faculty of Medicine. Please pay attention to the 512 faculties. The huge number is not only for the medicine faculty, but also they are working in the hospital at the same side, because according to the sustainability, we have to gain money to survive. And this is our very strength position. So many huge number of staffs working in the hospital and teaching in the medical faculty. It's our most strength point. Beside the research, yes. And Faculty of Dentistry, Dentistry faculty has another important point. According to the university entrance examination, our dentistry faculty is the second preferred faculty in the Turkey, included the governmental faculties together. Pharmacy is also really research center. Bezmi Alem Biotechnology Institute is directed under pharmacy faculty. Health sciences is very important, nursing, physical therapy, audiology, health management, nutrition and dietetics, and ergotherapy included. And vocational school, as you see, our university and all programs focused on the health. And PhD programs, we aim to catch the future, inshallah. We are an international university. Our students come from 21 different countries. You see the Erasmus project Memorandum of Understanding lists. Our hospital is also training doctors from different countries. Our hospital has been pursuing those rules defined by Valide Sultan, that is free medical services, modern services, everything is included. We have 200 residences. In 512 staffs in the medical faculty, 200 of them are residents, are residents. We have nearly 51 fellows from different countries, and we have a lifelong education and research center. This is another important point, to be a current institute. For example, we have an animal research laboratory. The most important point in this laboratory is 17th level in inbred generation production. It is very important, it is very, very good development for us. We are hosting national and international congress, workshops, symposiums focused on medicine. Bezmi Alem Johns Hopkins Memoriam of Understanding is an official curriculum association. It is very, very valuable position for us. We have nearly 600 faculties in the whole university, and the number of students, according to the number of students, we are a young university, 5 years old we are, and now you can see the increasing in the diagram. Our vision is in the near future 5,000 students, but after 10-20 years, the aim of us is to catch the 10,000 students. According to the publications, according to the academic level of our staffs, we are in a good level. Our publications numbers is increasing. Some slides on the life in the Bezmi Alem. We have so many student clubs, so many activities our students did and do. So many activities, current university concept, festivals and abroad activities. For example, Eurasia Marathon, maybe somebody of you knows. Forgive me, please, for this sentence. We believe to be an endowment man is no need much money. The first and most important thing is to have a big heart. Money comes more after. Because big heart is more important. These are our students. Modern technology in education and patient care. This is inside of our historical campus. This is outside. The teacher, she is our new rector now, and some of our staffs. And thank you, dear President.
Thank you, Dr. Adham, and we'll have questions later on, inshallah. So please have a seat. شكرا لدكتور أدهم، وسيكون إن شاء الله هناك فرصة للأسئلة والطروحات بعد محاضرة ثانية، وهي عن أنظمة ونماذج الأوقاف في المملكة المتحدة، وسيكون معنا الأستاذ خالد صوفي وهو المستشار القانوني والخبير في شؤون الأوقاف ليحدثنا عن تجربة الأوقاف في المملكة المتحدة، وفهمي أنه سيكون معنا عن طريق الساتلايت حسب ما فهمت من الأخوان. الأخوة المنظمين جاهزين للعرض أستاذ خالد؟ He's from satellite, from the UK. Excellent, super, excellent. الأخوة في اللجنة المنظمة، هل المحاضرة جاهزة ولا نأخذ بعض الأسئلة حتى نستغل الوقت؟ ما أنتم جاهزين؟ طيب ننتظر الإشارة من لندن حسب ما ذكر الأخوان. يمكن نبدأ بسؤال الآن، وإذا وصلت الإشارة اعذرونا المقاطعة ثم نواصل الأسئلة لاحقا. فإذا كان هناك سؤال للدكتور أدهم نبدأ فيه، وإذا وصلت الإشارة من المملكة المتحدة نتوقف ونواصل بعد المحاضرة إن شاء الله. يمكن أبدأ بمداخلة لدي من الأستاذ عبد الله العتيبي، يقول: الباحث الذي يرغب في خدمة دينه ووطنه أو يحتاج في بحث إلى دعم مادي ولا يمكن أن يدخل الجامعة لأنه ليس بعضوية تدريس، أين يذهب؟ علما بأنني من خلال البحث لا توجد لدينا مؤسسة مانحة تهتم بدعم البحوث والباحثين، خاصة أن البحث يخدم الأوقاف. هذا طبعا سؤال مفترض أنه موجه لي. وسؤال آخر للدكتور أدهم: هل هذه الجامعة قامت على فكرة الوقف أو فكرة الترست؟ هذا لك يا أستاذ أدهم.
Both.
سؤال آخر من الأستاذ مصعب المرزوقي من الجامعة الإسلامية، ويقول: دور تركيا والشعب التركي تجاه سوريا دور مكثف وكبير وجميل ما سمعناه منكم. ما هي خطتكم في تدريس الطلاب السوريين؟ وهل لكم دور في إنشاء معاهد أو مراكز صحية في مخيمات اللاجئين؟ وهل مركز الأبحاث لديكم يدرس الأمور الصحية والظاهرة التي يتعرض لها اللاجئون السوريين جميعا؟ ولكم الأجر على ما تبذلون.
Thank you for this important question, because the 4 million Syrian refugees is the main issue, not only for us, but I think altogether. We are brothers, as you know. Educational subject is the Turkish governmental main point. Yes, they in the September, inshallah, in the September 2016, we will start a project without any university examination, without any university competitive examination with Turkish people, Syrian students independently, without examination, can go to the Turkish universities. This is a governmental project. We are the minor part of it. If it is a good answer for you.
Any efforts in the refugees camps that you are doing as a university?
To be honest, not Bezmi Alem Vakıf University, but Doctors Worldwide organization. I am the executive committee member of Doctors Worldwide personally. This organization make so many activities for refugee camps in Hatay. I presented the third project. That is the project we are holding. We get money from the European Commission. We pay. We got it. We have some projects, but mostly Doctors Worldwide organization guided us. We are members, persons. The project's owner is the Doctors Worldwide. We are human resources.
في سؤال من الدكتور عصام كوثر في الوقف العلمي جامعة الملك عبد العزيز. باختصار الدكتور عصام تفضل.
أي لو سمحت دكتور. شكرا. My question, Dr. Aitham, please, regarding what you have just presented. We enjoyed it and we learned a lot about it. My question is, are there any other institutions worldwide similar to yours? Are there other institutions similar to yours? As well, my second question is, how do you benchmark yourself in terms of quality to others in this field?
Thank you. Translator, man, please again for me on.
Similar institutions like yours worldwide. That's the first part of the question.
Mm-hmm. Yes. The question is there any similar institute? Turkish International Association Office is a governmental umbrella, financial organization. This organization, not endowment, but under governmental control, the world's third biggest humanitarian organization. Turkish government takes this thema seriously. It is not left to the personal endowment solely, but under governmental control, non-profit but governmental control organization we have. Thank you.
دكتور عصام كان في سؤال ثاني؟
كان السؤال الثاني على البنش مارك، مين في منظمات وقفية تقدم نفس الخدمات في العالم، كيف يقارنوا نفسهم بهم؟
Yes, in Turkey, our Vakıf, our hospital organization is really another body, because we don't give to poor men food, we don't help homeless. We are professional position. We have a professional position, my sir, to serving, treating patients in the hospital, not outside, not their homes. Yeah, this is our job division.
شكرا دكتور. أستاذ خالد معنا، تسمعنا؟ أستاذ خالد؟ سؤال من الدكتور أيضا، كم قيمة الوقف في بدايته، كم بلغ الآن، وما هو السر في نجاح هذا الوقف؟
I cannot say the money, amount of money, but in the Ottoman era, all costs without from getting the patients, poor Muslims do the target people, but after the Turkish Republic, after the insurance, health insurance, our foundation, our buildings, our institute, not working for helping the people, but serving the people. This is a little complicated. I try to explain, but maybe I cannot explain. It is a little complicated. We changed the Vakıf methodology. We have changed the methodology. In the past, it should be like that, but now it should be like this.
دكتور أتحم، عفوا المقاطعة، بس الضيف لدينا من لندن فنواصل إن شاء الله بعد.
Thank you very much.
أستاذ خالد تسمعني؟
English trust law has over the course of years and cases developed a strong understanding the application of endowments. Endowments can be one of the two types: investment, permanent endowments. This is capital which is to be used to provide an income for the charity, and which cannot be spent as income. The document that directs how the property should be held and used will usually specify that the capital should be invested and the income from the investment spent on specific charitable purposes. Functional permanent endowment. This is capital to be used for a specific purpose or purposes of the charity. Common examples of functional permanent endowments include village halls, recreation grounds, housing, museums, and historic buildings. With this type of permanent endowment, the distinction between capital and income often does not apply, as there may be no income. The concept of endowments stems from none other than Islamic Waqf. During the Middle Ages, Muslims had a strong tradition of endowing schools attached to mosques. They were called madrasas. Here, students would learn law and jurisprudence and other subjects to enhance their education. During the Crusades, many European Christian organizations... 10 seconds, start from the beginning. Okay. Oh, here I am now.
تفضل أستاذ خالد نسمعك. Please. Ustad Khalid, can you hear me? الأخوة المنظمين يمكن لا تقاطعوه لأنه يظهر التواصل ما هو جيد، فخلوه يمشي على سليقة، يظهر أن التواصل صعب معهم.
I'll look here, but you should be able to see me. And if there's anything, just pass on.
Go ahead, please.
Okay, we're listening to the signal right now.
So please go ahead, Ustad Khalid. Can you hear me?
Now we can hear.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Speak to them.
Hello. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Can you start from the beginning, please?
Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I'm honored to have been invited to speak at such a conference, but I'm disappointed that I'm not with you personally. I was hoping to be there to exchange information and learn from the knowledge of delegates and participants. However, I will try my best to convey my presentation through the modern technology. I will focus my presentation on the English law as it regulates and manages charitable trusts and endowments. Many well-known charities, not-for-profit organizations, institutions in the UK are set up with an endowment. English trust law has, over the course of many years and cases, developed a strong understanding and application of endowments. Endowments can be of two types. An investment permanent endowment. This is capital which is to be used to provide an income for the charity and which cannot be spent as income. The document that directs how the property should be held and used will usually specify that the capital should be invested and the income from the investments spent on specific charitable purposes. Functional permanent endowment. This is capital to be used for a specific purpose or purposes of the charity. Common examples of functional permanent endowment include village halls, recreation grounds, housing, museums, and historic buildings. With this type of permanent endowment, the distinction between capital and income often does not apply, as there may be no income. The concept of endowment stems from none other than the Islamic Waqf. During the Middle Ages, Muslims had a strong tradition of endowing schools attached to mosques that were called madrasas. Here, students would learn law and jurisprudence and other subjects to enhance their education. During the Crusades, many European Christian organizations were present in the Middle East, such as the Knight Templar and Franciscan Friars. These organizations came back to Europe, having seen how the Waqf operated, and began to implement it in Europe. A key example is Oxford University. A high-ranking official called Walter de Merton endowed Merton College, Oxford in trust to support scholars in their education. In the UK, charities have a long history. The oldest charity in England is believed to be the King's College, Canterbury, which was established in 597, and despite some gaps in its history, it still exists today. The fundamental principle of charity and philanthropy are deeply ingrained in this country's culture. However, the way those principles establish themselves and how they've been given effect to since is a story of change, reform, and growth. It's clear from their survival over the last 1400 years that charities and their role have always been able to adapt to the changes in society around them. It is similarly clear in order to support the process of adaptation and allow it to continue, the law surrounding charities has been through its own process of revision and renewal. An endowment is essentially a charitable trust. For a trust to exist in English law, there must be three parties. This structure of having three parties itself comes from the Islamic Waqf. There must be a settlor who makes the endowment, trustees who administer the property, and an identifiable beneficiary or class of beneficiaries. But more specifically, an endowment is property that is held by trustees with the purpose of generating money. but be it income or capital growth, with which they can enhance and develop the work of the trust or charity. English law has allowed any income from certain approved investments to be treated as charitable income, meaning it is not subject to income or corporation tax. This is one way in which philanthropic work is encouraged by allowing tax reliefs. Trustees of any charity can decide to invest ethically, even if the investment might provide a lower rate of return than an alternative investment. Ethical investment means investing in a way that reflects a charity's values and ethos and does not run counter to its aims. However, a charity's trustee must be able to justify why it's in the charity's best interest to invest in this way. The law permits the following reasons. A particular investment conflicts with the aims of the charity. The charity might lose supporters or beneficiaries if it does not invest ethically. There is no significant financial detriment. The main legislative basis for endowment is the Trustees Act 2000, which facilitates the administration of trusts. The Act imposes various duties and powers on trustees to assist them in fulfilling their roles and making sure that the endowment is used correctly and for its stated aims. The duties and aims in the Trustee Act are helpful in our understanding of how UK law protects endowments. The first duty is duty of care. Trustees must act with such care and skill as is reasonable, bearing in mind any special knowledge or experience they have. And for professional trustees, any special knowledge or experience, it is reasonable to expect them to have. The law here ensures that the trustees are careful when dealing with any property entrusted to them. By making this a legal duty, we can try to ensure that they do not take any decisions lightly. For a donor, this can be quite reassuring to know that the trustees of their endowment will exercise due care and skill. The legal duty of care applies, 1, when exercising powers of investment, 2, when acquiring or managing land or property. A general power of investment is a second duty. The Trustees Act 2000 replaced the old very restrictive law with a new general power of investment. Subject to the Act, a trustee may make any kind of investment that he could make if he absolutely owned the assets of the trust. This is called the general power of investment. This gave considerable freedom to trustees, but coupled with the duty of care, a donor can still have confidence that their fund will be invested appropriately. The Act also enables trustees to purchase land anywhere in the United Kingdom for the purpose of investment. Third duty, the standard investment criteria. However, to afford further protection, a trustee must have regard to the standard investment criteria when making an investment. The standard investment criteria are: A, the suitability to the trust of investment of the same kind as any particular investment proposed to be made or retained. The need for diversification of investments of the trust insofar as is appropriate to the circumstances of the trust. A trustee must also from time to time review the investments of the trust and consider whether they should be varied. Number 4, taking advice. Before exercising any power of investment, a trust must usually obtain and consider proper advice about the way in which, having regard to the standard investment criteria, the power should be exercised. When reviewing the investment of the trust, a trustee must, unless the exception applies, obtain and consider proper advice about whether, having regard to the standard investment criteria, the investments should be varied. Number 5, a power to acquire freehold and leasehold land. A trustee may acquire freehold or leasehold land in the United Kingdom as an investment, for occupation by the beneficiary, for any other reason. Charities Act. An endowment that is held by charity will be further governed by the Charities Act, which provides further guidance on how the duties and powers of trustees and what they can do with the endowment. The Act also establishes a regulator, the Charity Commission, which plays an important role in regulating charities and thereby ensuring that the public continue to have confidence in our charitable organizations. This is essential for the philanthropic sector to be able to continue to achieve its aims. Part of the Charity Commission's role is to ensure that charities stay within the limit of their powers and objects. They should not go beyond their purpose. In this regard, the Commission would have the power to step in while it becomes obvious that the trustees of an endowment are no longer using their income to further the aims of the charity. This is an exercise in protecting the funds and wishes of the benefactor, and again, keeping the trust of both the public and the beneficiaries of the charity. Indeed, the trust has played an important role in achieving various social and economic goals since they were set up. As I have mentioned earlier, the very first endowment in history was set up for the advancement of education. The structure of an endowment suited schools and universities as there was a continuous income, which meant generations of students could receive donations. We can still see this with the University of Oxford, which continues to be funded by endowments. Endowments have always been used for the advancement of religion, have also been used for the advancement of religion to support deprived communities, address needs of changing communities as the Carnegie Trust, which was set up to do, or even to promote medical research or pharmaceutical advances such as the Wellcome Trust. There are a number of reasons why endowments are seen as a favorable way to further charitable aims, which I will highlight now. Number one, tax. Endowments and the income they generate are generally treated as charitable funds and thus exempt from income or corporation tax in the case of a company. This can be an attractive proposition for someone with a large amount of money that they wish to see used in a beneficial manner. Number two, an endowment provides ongoing income into the future. For many charities, the prospect of future donations and income can be a cause of concern when planning. Endowment allows some stable future income, which is why they are so well suited to educational establishments and research institutions that need stability to survive. Number three, an endowment carries with it a certain amount of prestige and stability. The idea of a person donating a large amount of their wealth towards the advancement of a specific cause inspires confidence in the public and the beneficiaries. Many English charities that began with an endowment are worth many millions of pounds and extremely well respected across the world. Number four, many of us have values and ideals that we would like to see promoted and advanced long after we die. Endowments are a useful tool in perpetuating values or priorities that are important to a donor. What lessons we could learn from English experience? Endowments exist to bring benefit to the public. Trustees, as we have seen, have greater powers and flexibility to allow them to do so. Thus, the law regarding charities and endowments must keep adapting itself to protect funds and ensure that the endowments continue to meet their purpose. Over the years, Parliament and practitioners have developed the law and governance of charities considerably. The aim of this has been to protect public funds and make sure that charities continue to be respected and trusted. The regulatory regime plays a vital role in helping to achieve this aim, as well as is well respected all over the world. There is greater confidence and trust in the regulatory regime of British charities because it is evident that they have been subject to much scrutiny, review, and adaptation. Other jurisdictions can take lessons from the laws and procedures in English law relating to charitable endowments. In particular, the duties placed on trustees are what help to protect and enhance the endowments. Without protection and trust in the legal system, people would have doubts about leaving large sums of money in someone else's hands to administered after their death. However, the legal system gives donors the confidence to know that their funds will be used solely for the purpose they left it for, and the trustees are bound by a legal duty to act prudently and responsibly. There are some examples I would like to highlight here from English experience. Wellcome Trust. The Wellcome Trust was established under the will of Sir Henry Wellcome in 1936. In his will, Wellcome stated that after his death, he wanted the entire share capital of the Wellcome Foundation Limited to be held in trust by 5 trustees. The income from the capital should be used for 2 purposes: to advance medical research and understanding of its history. With the enormous possibility of development in chemistry, bacteriology, pharmacy, and allied sciences, they are likely to be vast fields open for productive enterprise for centuries to come. It was written in Sir Henry Wellcome's will. The complexity of Wellcome's affairs and diverse enterprises, along with the need to pay enormous estate duties, kept the trust's income fairly low in its first 20 years. The total charitable income for the period was 1.2 million. But from 1966 to 1986, the Wellcome Foundation evolved from pharmaceutical company with sales of 32 million pounds to one with sales of over 500 million pounds. This huge jump in profits allowed the Wellcome Trust to greatly increase funding of scientific research over the period. So this growth has allowed the Wellcome Trust to help fund one of Henry's wishes, the advancement of medical and scientific research to improve mankind's well-being. As an editorial of the British Medical Journal stated, upon the creation of the trust in 1936, the trust has every appearance of being a big undertaking, bigger in the next generation than it can be in this. Upon the trustees, especially those representing medicine and the ancillary sciences, a great responsibility will rest for the worthy investment of the sums which periodically become available. The acceptance of the trust could only be regarded as a public duty, a duty not only to the past, to carry out the wishes of a testator of a philanthropic vision, but also to the future, to the various work with unimagined possibilities which may be started as a result of this inheritance. The Joseph Rowentry Foundation, another example I would like to highlight. Joseph Rowentry was a visionary businessman and social reformer. He built New Erswick, a village in York for people on low incomes, including staff who worked in his factory, giving them access to decent homes at affordable rents. He was committed to understanding the causes of poverty and disadvantage in order to create a better society. His son, Sebum Rowentry, was a pioneering social researcher who undertook one of the country's first investigations into the poverty. So these were the 2 examples I highlighted. There are some statistics which I would like to mention now before I end my presentation. 164,889 registered charities in the UK, as per the records of the Charity Commission, the regulator. £69.1 billion was the annual income from charities in the UK last year, as per the Charity Commission records. The third sector, the voluntary sector, employs around 821,000 employees in the UK. The services which these charities generally render include education, housing, faith, health, research and policy, and trade associations. 13 billion worth of funding came from public sources generated by public in 2012. 8,800 grant-making trusts and foundations are in the UK. They give £1.7 billion in grants to charitable causes each year. £3.1 billion of large charity funds come from government. So there are about 900 endowed foundations in England and Wales with an income of over 500,000 million and assets of over 49 billion pounds. So this is nearly half of the voluntary sector. I hope this has given you an idea of how charities and the endowments are regulated and managed in United Kingdom. Thank you. Jazakallah.
Thank you, Mr. Khalid, and we'll be getting questions to you very soon. أخوان، بالنسبة للأستاذ خالد يمكن من الصعوبة التواصل معه سؤال وهناك تأخير أو ديلي بيننا وبينه، فالأخوة المنظمون يقترحون نجمع الأسئلة ثم ترسل له وتترجم ويجيب عليها جميعا. فخلال 5 دقائق من يرغب أن يسأل أو يداخل مع الأستاذ خالد أرجو أن يكتب السؤال ويعطى لأحد الأخوة من اللجنة المنظمة. أعود للأسئلة لدكتور أتهم. هناك مداخلة من الأستاذ علي القزلان من مؤسسة سليمان بن عبد العزيز الراجحة الخيرية. أستاذ علي. أستاذ علي موجود؟
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
علي القزلان، مؤسسة سليمان الراجحة الخيرية، فرع المدينة. ذكر أحد الحضور أن المؤسسات المانحة لا تقدم منحا للدراسات البحوث، ومؤسسة سليمان الراجحة الخيرية أطلقت قبل أسبوعين تقريبا مسارات المنح الجديدة لهذا العام، وأحد هذه المسارات باسم مسار دعم مشروعات البحوث والدراسات. جزاكم الله خير.
جزاك الله خير. هذا طبعا أنا كنت مؤخر هذا السؤال من الأستاذ محمد العتيبي، يظهر أنه هذه إجابة إن شاء الله كافية، وربما هناك جهات أخرى أيضا تدعم البحوث وخاصة في الأوقاف. Dr. Atham, I have a question in English for you. It's from Adil Sharif, Islamic Development Bank, and his question, he has 2 questions. One is, how is the quality of services of the hospital compared to commercial hospitals in Turkey? The second question, what is the biggest challenge facing the university being waqf?
As far as my bad English and as far as my understanding, Bezmalem works one step further, one step different from the other classical endowments. Of course, we accept donations, but we don't work based on donations solely. Is it the true answer?
Maybe is about the quality of the hospital. The quality of service, medical care at the hospital. How do you compare it with other hospitals?
In the competitive world, if your quality is low level, you will not survive. Therefore, we realized it 5 years ago. We changed all concepts. We have changed all concepts because 6 years ago, our hospital remained undeveloped, remained non-modernized. There is no sources to make something. But if we changed the face, we re-established as a university hospital, we changed the concept, governmental supports, independent, some donations, few, but some donations there was, made us renovation. For example, 6 years ago, hospital rooms were included 6 beds, but now we divided that room into 2, and we discarded 1 bed out of the room, and all rooms have 2 beds and private bathrooms. That's the modern concept. Is it the true answer?
Yes, that's right. Second question, what is your biggest challenge being funded from a waqf? Challenge? Challenge?
Yes, the modern health system included private hospital-based. In a private hospital, everything luxury, everything private, not medical treatment, but service is different. Therefore, we aim to catch that in the service.
اخوان، اخر دقيقه اذا كان هناك سؤال للاستاذ خالد صوفي في المملكة المتحدة، حيث ستجمع الأسئلة كما ذكرت سابقا وترسل مرة واحدة ثم سيجيب عليها مرة واحدة. أعود للدكتور أدهم، هناك سؤال يقول لماذا لا تكون في تركيا مستشفى خاص للمسلمين، وسؤال آخر لماذا لا تكون الأوقاف في كل القطاعات في تركيا.
Excuse me. Again,
he's saying.
He is translating. Yes, I am listening. It's not necessary because we have complex, compromised, complex population. In the past, 170 years ago, all other religious minorities had their own hospitals, own institutes, but not Muslims. Now, all have the same situation. There is no hard, strict differences. And in 150 years ago, so many people are religious minorities, but now less amount of religious minorities. Therefore.
سؤال آخر من الأستاذ عبد الحفيظ تركستاني، المكتب التعاوني، ويقول ما هي الإجراءات المتبعة لإقامة وقف في تركيا، خاصة الوقف التعليمي، وهل لا بد من أن يكون الواقف من الجنسية التركية؟
That's a good question, and as a final question, it's a good question because I should declare something. For example, if the owners of the original Vakıf dead, there is no heritage, there is no person to represent him, the government gathered its properties and managed that Vakıf instead of their owners, because no offsprings. But if the Vakıf owners have offsprings, the government don't touch. This is the first point. And the second point is, to be honest, I don't know to be a Turkish nationality is necessary or not. I don't know, but I can learn in a few minutes. The owner of the question, if he gets my card, and he can contact me because, good. Sir.
طيب السؤال اللي سأل السؤال يمكن يتصل بالدكتور بعد
I'm putting here my card.
فتاخذ
question, please get it.
ممتاز، شكرا. معذرة الأخوات، ما كنت أعرف أنه عندنا يعني قاعة أخرى ولم يشعرون الأخوة في اللجنة المنظمة. الآن وقت للأخوات إذا كان هناك مداخلة أو سؤال. تفضلوا.
أيوة، السلام عليكم. Dr. Adham, actually I love your experience, and as a physician, I wish that these things can happen in our country. The question that for the student, for the scholarship, do you have, after they graduate, ask them to work in an institute for a certain period, or they are free, they can go anywhere?
Excuse me, can you repeat? Because at the same time, translator and you...
No, I'm asking regarding the student. You are giving a scholarship for a medical student, isn't it?
Yes, for foreign students, you mean?
Yeah, so after they graduate, do you usually ask them to work in your institute for a certain period, or you just, once they graduate, yes, they can go anywhere?
Can go anywhere after they graduate.
All students have to leave our institute.
So they don't have to work for you?
They don't have to work out for us because they got these scholarships before at the university entrance examination. They succeed. They got it. They have got it.
So it's unconditional.
Not a present. That's not a present.
Yeah, okay.
Is it the answer, my lady?
I think it's clear. الأخوات إذا كان في مداخلة أو سؤال آخر.
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام.
عليكم السلام.
أشكر كل المنظمين لهذا الملتقى الطيب. الله يسلمك الدكتور خالد سلطان. عندي سؤال بالنسبة لوجود الوقف للسكن للشخصيات السعودية من المحتاجين أو ما يسير الحال والضعفاء ونحوهم، هل يكون ممكن للشخصيات الغير سعودية من ما يسير الحال والضعفاء ونحوهم في السعودية سكن من الأوقاف وتكون بالضبط أوراقهم رسمية وصالحة؟ أو بس للسعوديين الضعفاء؟
هذا السؤال طبعا عندنا من الحضور من القضاة والخبراء في الوقف، ربما لا أستطيع الإجابة عن هذا السؤال، لكن أنا أطرح على اللجنة المنظمة، وأنا متأكد أنه سواء من الحضور أو من غير حاضر لكن يفهم هذا السؤال، إن شاء الله نجيبك على السؤال في آخر الجلسة إن شاء الله. دكتور أدهم، لدي سؤالين عن 15% من ميزانية الجامعة دخل وارد من الأوقاف، يعتبر قليل ويحتاج إلى زيادة. هل يعتبر هذا كافي أو هل هناك نسبة معينة تسعون لزيادتها؟ عفوا، ولدي سؤال آخر يقول هل تأخذون رسوم من الطلاب؟ هل هي رمزية أم أن الوقف يكفي لدعم هذه المنح؟
Thank you, dear President, because this is another very important question. But in the past, that ratio included 100% of costs. But now, our institute, our complexity enlarged 3 times, 4 times enlarged, and the money comes from the properties is not enough for current costs. Therefore, we have to gain. We have professional management of the hospital. But I agree. This is not symbolic. We spent this 15% of money to repairment, not consumptions. I think this is a brief answer for your question. Thank you.
شكرا. لديك سؤال أيضا من الدكتور أحمد مغربي، موقع وقفنا: كيف يمكن الحصول على وثيقة وقف السلطانة باسم عالم؟ هل ممكن الحصول على الوثيقة الأصلية؟ هل هي لديكم؟ وهل من الإمكان الحصول على نسخة منها؟
Yes, that's very good. I really thank you for this question,
Dr. Ahmed Maghrabi.
Dr. Ahmed Maghrib. Please let me know your address. I will send you original copy of this wish and them. We are proud of to having these papers because that's original document. You are right. I thank you again.
دكتور، هل بالإمكان ترسل أيضا نسخة للجنة المنظمة حتى يمكن للجميع الحصول على نسخة منها إذا شاءوا للجنة المنظمة أيضا؟
Digital copy of course.
Yes.
I will share it
with
to the organizing committee. That's very nice.
شكرا.
Thank you, Dr. Ahmed. Thank you very much. Thank you.
إذا في آخر مداخلة من الأخوات، إذا في مداخلة.
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام.
حواء جدة من مؤسسة القرية الإعلامية. بعد الاستماع للعرض السابق والسؤال يمكن أو مداخلة للجميع، لدي نقطتان. النقطة الأولى: كيف تستفيد المؤسسة الوقفية أو الوقف من فكرة التراست، خاصة أنه نشأت في إنجلترا تقريبا للتهرب من الضرائب الباهظة في حدود القرن الثاني عشر الميلادي. ثم يعني بعد العرض هذا كله ظهر كأنه الأنظمة لدينا أكثر تكاملية من الأنظمة الغربية، يعني التراست وحده، الفاونديشن، الاندومنت، بينما هنا يوقف الواقف ثم ينشئ مؤسسة وقفية تدار هذه الوقفية، وجزء من الوقف يصرف لتطوير ذلك الوقف. شكرا.
شكرا. طبعا اللجنة المنظمة يسمع اقتراحك ولعلهم إن شاء الله تعالى يستفيدون منها. إذا كان سؤال ربما ما أعطينا الأخوات فرصة كافية، سؤال آخر وأخير إذا فيه. طيب، إذا ما فيه، إذا أيضا ما في مداخلة من
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام، تفضل.
لو تكرمت أبغى أعرف هل بالإمكان أن ندمج أكثر من وقف مع بعضها البعض حتى نتمكن من تقديم خدمة مميزة؟ شكرا.
شكرا. طبعا الاقتراح للجنة المنظمة للتوصيات أنه بعض الأوقاف ربما تكون صغيرة وغير ذات يعني ليس لها أثر، فهي تقترح أن تدمج بعض هذه الأوقاف طبعا بإذن الموقف وربما يكون أثرها كبير. طبعا هذه من التوصيات للجنة المنظمة. ولدي أيضا توصيات مقترحة من أحد الأخوة، يقول معاملة عقارات الأوقاف مثل أملاك الدولة في إثبات التملك، حيث أن الوضع الحالي أن إخراج إثبات الوقف لا يختلف عن أملاك الناس في مخاطبة الجهات الحكومية وغير معرفة معارضتها من عدم، فينبغي أن يفرق بين الوقف وهو ملك الله تعالى وبين ملك الناس. وأيضا توصية أخرى وأنا أقرأها كما جاءت بدون تعليق: التوسع في إنشاء الدوائر الخاصة بالأوقاف في المحاكم الشرعية في المناطق التي لم يفتح فيها إلى الآن، ومنها منطقة جازان ذات الكثافة في الأوقاف. هذا طبعا ينهي كل المداخلات والأسئلة. أنا ودي أسأل الأخوان في اللجنة المنظمة: هل الأستاذ خالد صوفي جاهز للإجابة في المملكة المتحدة؟ يظهر أنه جاهز. تفضل يا أستاذ خالد. Please.
Yes. Okay. But I need to know whether they have put the camera on.
Yes.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum. I have been asked a question is whether the UK charity law allows outside organizations to come and operate in UK. Yes, the answer is simple. If an organization is set up in UK under the UK charitable law and it has its objects set out in a way which allows it to work outside UK, then it can work outside the UK. It can also receive funds from legitimate sources around the world, and if its objects support it, to allow it to work in other parts of the world or other causes, as long as they are within the UK law, they are allowed to do so. There are any big international organization which wants to set up an office in UK, it'd be like a company setting up a UK subsidiary, and that is allowed, and they can do that, but they have to ensure that they are set up under the UK law, they meet the criteria set out by the UK law, and they operate within the UK law and good practice, irrespective of wherever they operate in the world. The short answer is yes, UK law allows organizations to set up, UK law allows organizations to receive funds and donations around the world as long as they are from legitimate sources. It allows organizations to spend their funds around the world if it is supported by their own internal objects and the aims. Yes, if these organizations are set up in UK under the UK law and they meet the criteria, then they can apply for internal funding from institutions. They will have to satisfy them as per their requirements, yes. It would be considered as a UK registered charity. Although it may have founders outside the UK, it may have some of its income coming from outside sources. The examples are any of the organizations which have been set up outside or set up here as well. Even Muslim organizations which have branches all over are set up here. I have set up organizations who have originated from different countries. I have set up their subsidiaries in UK, and it's is possible and it can be done, and they will receive the same treatment as other UK-based charities receive in terms of tax benefits and tax incentives. Yeah. Yes. If the organization's objects, which would have been set up in its governing document, trust deed, or any other governing document which they would have chosen, allows it to operate outside UK, allows its benefit, has allowed it to do that, then they will be allowed to work. And we have the biggest Muslim-led NGO, Islamic Relief. It operates around 70 countries. We have Oxfam, and we have other big organizations. We have even smaller organizations who have their areas of operation around the world, in Africa, in Asia, in other parts of the world. Okay. Okay. Well, thank you very much. I was really honored to be able to give some input. I was hoping that I would be able to dare to do much, but I once again thank the organizers, thank the excellencies, thank all the guests to be there and to be able to listen to me. Thank you very much. Shukran.
Thank you, Mr. Khalid. شكرا للأستاذ خالد صوفي، الشريك الإداري جونز والساجر LLB، وهو الخبير في الأوقاف في المملكة المتحدة. وقبل أن نختم بودي أن نطرح بعض المداخلات السريعة. أولا أنا كنت ذكرت الأخوان في جلسة سابقة أنه أنا كنت في زيارة مع مجموعة من الأخوة لإحدى الجامعات الكندية، وذكرنا رئيس الجامعة أن تلك الجامعة لها 100 سنة منذ إنشائها. 95 سنة الأولى كانوا يعتقدون أن الزبون الحقيقي هو الطالب، ويقول اكتشفنا أن الزبون الحقيقي هو الموظف، فإذا رضي علينا الموظف رضي الطالب ورضيت أسرته. نفس الكلام ينطبق الحقيقة على الجمعيات الخيرية وعلى الأوقاف. أنا أعتقد أن الزبون الحقيقي هو الغني وليس الفقير. الفقير ستجده وإن لم تجده سيجدك، ولكن حقيقة إذا نظمنا الأوقاف والعمل الخيري عموما فسنجد الكثير من الإقبال. أنا متأكد أن هناك من يريد أن يوقف ولو حتى بمبالغ ربما لا تكون كبيرة، ولكن لعدم وضوح أنظمة الأوقاف وعدم سلاستها وعدم الدعم لها يمكن يعيق بعض الناس عن الوقف. فأرجو إن شاء الله تعالى مع إنشاء هيئة الأوقاف مع هالجهود الطيبة في مثل هذه الملتقيات أنه تتحسن بيئة عمل الوقف في المملكة. ثانيا أطرح تساؤل ولعله إن شاء الله تعالى يلقى نصيبه من الطرح في التعريف الإسلامي للوقف وحبس الأصل وتسبيل المنفعة، بمعنى أنه الأصل سيبقى ثابت لا يباع وربما لا يتصرف فيه ويستفاد من المنفعة. مع وجود التضخم الآن أو الانفليشن نجد أن أوقاف وخاصة ربما بعض الأوقاف العقارية تفقد قيمتها مع الوقت. تشتري وقف الآن عمارة داخل الرياض ب10 مليون ريال اليوم وتنفق من آجارها سواء لصيانة العمارة نفسها أو لأوجه الخير، ستجد بعد 20-30 سنة أن قيمتها الحقيقية هي 500,000 أو 400,000 أو غيرها. الأوقاف الغربية ومعظمها يستفيد من ضخ بعض المنفعة في الأصل، بمعنى أنه لا يحبس الأصل، يحبس الأصل وجزء من المنفعة حتى تستمر القيمة الشرائية للوقف الأصلي. وأرجو أن هذه تدرس بدقة، وأنا أعرف أن هناك بعض الممارسات اللي بدأت عندنا. أنا أعرف في أوقاف الجامعات في الولايات المتحدة على مدرستين، مدرسة لا تنفق أكثر من نصف الدخل ونصف الدخل الآخر يعود للوقف، ومدرسة أخرى لا تجيز للجامعة أن تنفق أكثر من 4% فقط من أصل الوقف، وهم عادة يعني يحصل على 8 إلى 9% سنويا من العوائد، بمعنى أنه 4 5 وأحيانا 6% تعاد للوقف حتى يحتفظ بقيمته الشرائية. النقطة الثالثة يمكن استفدنا من يعني محاضرة الدكتور أطحم أنه الوقف ربما ليس بالضرورة أن يكون هو المالك الكامل للمبادرة أو من ينفق عليها. وجدنا أنه في هذا الحالة في الجامعة هو كان محرك، هو enabler. فقط 15% من الوقف يأتي لهذه الجامعة، لكن وجود هذه المبادرة دعت يمكن الحكومة التركية وهناك بعض المساعدين لإنشاء مثل هذه الجامعة. فلذلك ليس بالضرورة أن يكون الوقف ينفق على المنفعة معينة بالكامل، وإنما يكون محرك لتحقيق في ظني لتحقيق الهدف. وأيضا يمكن عندنا توجه دائما نشوف أنه معظم مصاريف الأوقاف في الأعمال الخيرية البحتة التي ربما تكون مجانية. أنا أعرف أنه الصحة والتعليم مثلا في الولايات المتحدة كثير من المؤسسات الخيرية الخاصة التي تقوم بها قائمة على الأوقاف، ولكن هي غير ربحية، بمعنى تأخذ رسوم، ولكن وجود هذا الوقف يجعل الرسوم ربما في بعض الأحيان أقل، وتجعل الناس يثقون كثيرا بالخدمة المعطاة في الصحة والتعليم. فلذلك ليس بالضرورة أن يكون الوقف في ظني أنا يتجه العمل الخيري البحت، ربما الغير ربحي التي في نهاية هو مبتغاه خيري، ولكن آليات عمله قد تكون مختلفة. وملاحظة على هيئة الأوقاف، أرجو إن شاء الله تعالى أن تكون بداياتها موفقة وكلنا متفائلين. وأنا سمعت ممن ذكر لي أمس أنه معالي الشيخ صالح آل الشيخ وعد خيرا، وأرجو أن تكون هيئة مساندة معجلة، ولا تكون هيئة معيقة يعني ربما الجميع يهرب منها. آمل أن الجميع يبحث عن هذه الهيئة التي تساعده ولا يهرب منها بحيل، لأن هذه الهيئة تعقد عمله. وأنا بذكر لكم احنا في جامعة الملك فهد بترول معادن لدينا وقف الآن قريب من 2 مليار ريال، إلى الآن لم نسجل وقف، وبقول لكم بكل أمانة كل تخوف من هذه الأنظمة واللوائح وغيرها. متى ما اتضحت اللوائح سنسجل إن شاء الله وقف، وأرجو إن شاء الله تكون وأنا بقولها بكل شفافية ووضوح، لأنه يعني نريد أن نتحرك بما يريده الواقفون، نريد أن ندعم عمل الجامعة ولا نريد أن نترك عملنا الأساسي ونعقب عن جهة حكومية. احنا عملنا مهم في التعليم والبحث، فنريد أن يكون عندنا المرونة والآلية الواضحة في العمل. والحمد لله في مجلس نظراء على هذا الوقف قوي يرأسه صاحب السمو الملكي الأمير سعود بن نايف أمير المنطقة الشرقية، وفيه من رجال الأعمال والمشايخ ورجال الإعلام والأكاديميين الحمد لله 25 عضو، يعني على الأقل منهم 5 على مرتبة وزير، فيعني منهم الحمد لله الكفاءات في كافة الاتجاهات. ولكن آمل أن تكون هيئة الأوقاف تمد أيديها للجميع لمساندتهم أفرادا ومؤسسات، وهذا إن شاء الله لكلنا طبعا نطمح فيه. طبعا الأوقاف يمكن ما يتطرق لها في هذه الندوة ويتطرق في ندوات أخرى، لها أدوار أخرى غير يعني حفظ قضية ما يبتغيه الموقف ويمكن يتأكد من حصول المنفعة. أنا أعتقد لها دور في النمو الاقتصادي، في خدمة الصحة والتعليم بشكل خاص، لها دور في التوظيف، فهو قطاع مهم، وأرجو أن أيضا ننظر له كمحرك اقتصادي يساعد بلدنا الكريم إن شاء الله تعالى في أداء واجباته، وهذا موجود في كل مكان وفي تاريخنا. فأرجو أن هذه النقطة دائما تأخذ دورها في كيف نستطيع نستغل الأوقاف في أنها توظف الشباب والفتيات، وكيف أنها أيضا تساهم في دعم النمو الاقتصادي في بلدنا. طبعا أختم في قضية أنه آمل أن يكون لدينا بعض العلماء والمتخصصين في الأوقاف يكتسبون أيضا خبرة خارجية من كيف تدار الأوقاف في الدول الأخرى، لأنه يمكن عندنا الحمد لله الهدف واضح ونتعبد الله سبحانه وتعالى بالأوقاف، لكن آليات ليست حكر على مجتمع دون الآخر، والمجتمعات الأخرى طورت آليات الحقيقة جديرة بالدراسة والاهتمام، ونأخذ منها ما يناسبنا ونترك ما لا يناسبنا. وهنا لدينا أحيانا خبراء في الأوقاف من الناحية الشرعية، ولدينا خبراء آخرين في أوقاف الخارجية، ونريد إن شاء الله تعالى أن نزاوج بين هذه الخبرتين. طبعا آخر شيء طلب فضيلة الشيخ سعد مهنا تعقيب يمكن على مواضيع مهمة في هذه القضية، فالشيخ سعد سريعا تفضل الله يسلمك.
شكرا معالي الرئيس. في سؤال طرح هنا وفي الملتقى الذي قبله هو قضية الأوقاف الصغيرة، هل يمكن جمعها؟ هل يمكن ضمها إلى مكان آخر يدر؟ أقول نعم يمكن هذا، وهذا أجري في المحاكم بحمد الله عز وجل الإذن به، ما دام أن الوقف صغير لا يمكن أن يؤتى به بعقار يدر في مثل هذا، فإنه يمكن شراء به أسهم في الشركات المباحة، ومن ريعها يستفاد من هذه الأسهم. وقد تم التقدم المحكمة في عدد من الأوقاف الصغيرة وأذن فيها بقضية شراء أسهم بشركات مباحة بحمد الله عز وجل، وهي الآن تدر إدرار كبير. أيضا يمكن لعدد من الأوقاف أنها تشترك، ويكون حينئذ كل جزء منها ويعتبر وقف مشاع، ووقف المشاع جائز كما بوب البخاري رحمه الله باب وقف المشاع، واستدل بحديث عمر رضي الله عنه إذ جاء في أحد رواياته إن 100 سهم للتي بخيبر. شكرا معالي الرئيس.
جزاك الله خير الشيخ سعد. الشيخ سعد مهنا طبعا هو رئيس المحكمة العامة في الدمام، وما شاء الله خبير وقفي، له كتاب جميل عن الوقف، أنصح الجميع بقراءته. وفقكم الله الشيخ سعد، وأنا متأكد إن شاء الله إذا كان في أسئلة أخرى يمكن الأخوة والأخوات يتواصلون معك إن شاء الله تعالى. في النهاية أشكر المحاضرين الأستاذ خالد والدكتور أتهم، وأشكركم جميعا على حضوركم، واللجنة المنظمة جزيل الشكر، وبارك الله في جهودهم، ووفقكم جميعا لما يحب ويرضاه. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
شكرا لمعالي الأستاذ الدكتور خالد بن صالح السلطان لإدارته هذه الجلسة، واللجنة المنظمة تتقدم بدرع شكر وتقدير للمشاركين فيها. يتفضل الأستاذ الدكتور إثيم جونيورن نائب رئيس جامعة فاكيف التركية. الأستاذ خالد صوفي المستشار القانوني والخبير في شؤون الأوقاف يتسلمها نيابة عنها الأستاذ أنس آل تويم عضو لجنة الأوقاف. ودرع شكر وتقدير لمعالي الأستاذ الدكتور خالد بن صالح السلطان مدير جامعة الملك فهد للبترول والمعادن لإدارته هذه الجلسة. بهذا تنتهي فعاليات الجلسة الثانية لهذا اليوم، وبعد التوقف لصلاة الظهر لمدة نصف ساعة نعود في تمام 1:00 لبدء الجلسة الثالثة.